I guess that because this is tied into Office 365, like we can build outbound communications clearly through this as well.
Um, I would agree. There is just the amount of room that you have there is very interesting. The amount of solutions that you have is very interesting. So when you talk about what's possible moving into, say, insights to automation is, I think, where we're trying to get to, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have Power Automate as one particular solution, right? So what does Power Automate allow you to do? Power Automate is a tool within the Office 365 environment where people without a ton of background knowledge can go in and automate everyday simple processes. The processes can be based on having an interaction that sends an email to having approval notifications built in. Now, a lot of these processes are already built for you. You can go in, add them, change a couple of the connectors around. Very easy to do. Microsoft has a ton of free learning out there. If you want to get better, it's very easy for you to as well. And then you actually have a very, very large marketplace of connectors.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for a specific kind of integration, instead of even bothering to do it yourself, you could pay the odd $20, $30, find or buy the connector, and utilize it to help you achieve that specific automation. So Power Automate as a solution, very, very easy, very available. We spoke about AI a little while earlier, and I had mentioned Copilot. Now, Copilot is exciting because it is a very new approach that Office 365 or Microsoft 365 has taken, where now this particular solution will integrate with all of your services. When you look at a Word document, you'd have a Copilot add-on where you can ask for a summary of a particular document. When you're on a particular site, you can ask on how that site works, why that site exists. Again, providing you a lot more information, data, making things a lot easier for you to implement from just kind of ideation to implementation.
Yeah, not so much creation or software development, but more leveraging existing tool sets to get a fast track delivery.
A bit of both. One of the pain points you used to have is there used to be experts out there that would just create Excel-based formulas for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about some really couple-page long formulas that really did the job. Now, with Copilot, you use natural language. You explain what your problem is. It would create the solutions for you. And this is kind of where Microsoft is trying to lead you today. They want you, the consumer, to become empowered, less reliant on other people, and actually utilize and create solutions that can help both yourself, your organization, and your customers.
Does Copilot in any way, shape, or form run in alignment with the Microsoft CDP? Is there a way to drive both of those together in terms of being able to have a compounding effect?
It definitely would. So Copilot is very prevalent within Microsoft Dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're thinking from a CRM perspective, you have very smart insights, tailored insights for you, and then this would work inside your CDP as well, connecting all of your different solutions. And again, Copilot doing a lot of the thinking that you may have to do, or if you might have had to hire very specialized skill set or experts for, Copilot will help you give a bit more context to that as well.
As we're seeing that there's a fast track way to deliver the extranet, I know that you kind of mentioned like it goes back to like, what's the problem we're trying to solve? And a lot of times when we think of an extranet, somebody will come with a very specific idea in mind, but it probably makes sense to have somewhat of a roadmap, correct? For the organization is like, where do you want to take this? And so you need to understand to a certain degree, where is there friction in your customer experience and your employee experience process now? Where is there data that is difficult for your clients to access? And how can you normalize that information, secure that information, and deliver that out? So there's a lot more to it. I think, again, the original stages of the extranet were very componentry around sharing documents. and some basic forms. But now we really have very powerful workflow capabilities where we're bringing this automation to the table based upon what we learned previously from the data, right? The data, I think that probably automation follows in some respects insights to data. I mean, there's certain things that you can do commonsensically ahead of that, but probably some of the larger automations come from a better understanding of the data. And if you're looking at automation and data, is there typically stages that you're looking at in terms that you're advising to clients that, hey, over the next 6 months, we're going to bring out these particular features. This is the data that we're going to be sharing. This is the data we're going to be collecting. And from here, we're going to have better insights into how to automate.
It's always best practice to look at kind of what all of the different data sets that a customer needs are. Mm-hmm. Our goal is always to go for the low-hanging fruit first. You want to give the customer immediate results. Now, they might not be the thing that they need the most, but it's something that would justify the need to maybe expense a bit more in this particular area than they would have initially. It's to provide a justification to why you would need that data or what the benefit of that particular data is. So always address that low-hanging fruit first to ensure that you can generate some value and prove your own worth. And then as far as other pieces of data, it just goes around, again, building the right kind of extranet. So utilizing the right kind of tools to track the correct types of data, and then visualizing them in the right way for the right audience. You have the technology out there. It just depends on what we need to automate, how we need to automate, what kind of that end result needs to look like.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. There's always that need to cultivate a go-to-market because you can become very overwhelmed with the big picture of what can be done. And so with that initial go-to-market, I think getting something out, delivered to the customer quickly is definitely the way to go. So